So they'll acknowledge that racism does exist. They'll acknowledge that. But I guess it's at a level that they can tolerate. The amount of racism that we deal with is enough for them. So they're like, you know what? Because it's better for you now than it was for your dad or your dad's dad, you should just shut up about it.
Why not try to...
Listen, you can tell me you didn't like Barack Obama's policies. You can say you didn't like him wearing a tan suit. You can say you don't like Obamacare. But if you have the audacity to tell me that Barack Obama is responsible for the racial divide in this country, it screams racism. It screams you telling everyone you're a racist. Because you got to be freaking kidding me saying that Barack Obama is the reason for the racial divide in this country. He spent most of his presidency, even before he became president, defending himself against racism. Racism coming to him from the right. And so when that comes out of the mouth of someone who is a college coach, a guy who coached a lot of black kids, it disgusts the shit out of me. And I start to wonder, why would any black person want to let their kid play for this dude?
I get so frustrated when I hear what a terrible country we are, how racist we are, how this is not the land of opportunity for everybody. Look, we've got a lot to work on. And there's racism that absolutely does exist, and it's wrong. But it's a lot better for my players than it was for their fathers or for their fathers' fathers or their fathers' fathers. And so I want my guys to recognize there are going to be obstacles, but not roadblocks. And that's what Barack Obama did.
It's always funny to me when idiots like this start with, a lot of people are saying, this country's so bad and it's racist and all that. And then they'll say, we got problems. We definitely have some racism. So they'll acknowledge that racism does exist. They'll acknowledge that. But I guess it's at a level that they can tolerate. The amount of racism that we deal with is enough for them. So they're like, you know what? Because it's better for you now than it was for your dad or your dad's dad, you should just shut up about it. That's what they want us to do. And you see, this is the thing with a guy like this. He's used to telling black people what to do. And he feels good about that. So he wants to tell black people, shut up about the racism. And let's be real here. None of us are telling kids that they can't succeed in this country. None of us are telling kids that there's going to be full-on roadblocks. But yes, we tell them that there are obstacles. You have acknowledged that there are obstacles. Now you just need to acknowledge that some of those obstacles are just for black people, just for the black men that you coach. So instead of telling them to shut up about it, how about you join us in fighting against it rather than saying, oh, this is the black people's fault for bringing it up or Barack Obama's fault for having to fight against it.
However, as our president, other than just love listening to him talk because he's such a great orator, I disagree with so many of his policies. I thought in so many ways, rather than uniting us as a country, even by race, he divided us. Everything was black and white. Everything was the obstacles that were against, my players from being successful. I'm trying to teach my guys, look, I don't want you working at Subway. I want you owning 5 of them. And that's possible. I think in many ways, Barack Obama told a different story.
Shut the fuck up, dude. Listen. Before Barack Obama even became president, the amount of racism that was going at him just because he was black was absolutely crazy. The guy you voted for, Donald Trump, he was going around saying he wasn't even an American citizen. Said he had people in Hawaii turning over a bunch of stuff that was going to prove that Barack Obama wasn't an American citizen. How many people jumped on that bandwagon? How many birthers were there out there? People still to this day trying to say the guy wasn't an American citizen, that he was a Muslim and all these things just because he was black. There was nothing but racism going toward Barack Obama. But let's talk more about Donald Trump, because anytime someone says to me, Barack Obama divided the country, I always ask them, give me some examples. They never can, because they don't have clips or quotes from Barack Obama that says anything about dividing this country. But what we do have from Donald Trump is him saying that Hispanic people are poisoning the blood of our country. We have him saying that Mexico isn't sending their best, they're sending murderers and rapists. We have him saying that Haitian migrants are eating cats and dogs. There are multiple of these. He calls black people who are accomplished woke just because they are black and successful. Ask these people anytime they tell you that Barack Obama divided this country to give you a couple of examples. We can give you multiple examples of Donald Trump being a racist. You can't give us examples of Barack Obama dividing this country. The problem with people is this. They don't like black people who don't do what they say. They don't like black people who have a voice. So when Barack Obama said, I'm not going to allow you guys to be racist toward me or any of my people, they didn't like that. So to them, that's dividing. He told them you can't be a racist, and they said, oh, you're dividing us, because they want to be racist. They want to say the N-word. They want to be able to do all those things. And having a black president pissed them the hell off. And that's why they felt divided. They were divided because they were told you can't openly be racist. That's what they were mad about. Barack Obama also has several quotes, speeches where he talks to black people about aspiring to do better, about trying to achieve more. Barack Obama has never told black people, you can't make it in this country. The dude was the president, for crying out loud. He went from being a senator to the president within like 5 years of coming on the scene. He doesn't tell black people they can't achieve anything. In fact, he's told many black people, hey, it's great to go for being try to be an entertainer, a basketball player, football player, whatever, but everyone can't be LeBron James or Lil Wayne, so you should also be trying to become an electrician, an engineer, a professor, a principal, whatever. He's always said that. This is all smoke and mirrors. People will say this shit because they have a problem with Barack Obama being a successful black person. This guy should not be coaching black men. He should not be, because I can't imagine when things get tough, when one of those kids is going through anything, I can't imagine him having the empathy to actually deal with it in a fair way. I know this, my daughter runs Division I track right now. And I could tell you this, I wouldn't even have to talk to her about it. If her coach shared these type of statements that this guy's sharing, she'd call me up and be like, Dad, I'm out. I'm not staying here. I'm going to jump in the portal and do something else. And I'm not talking. I understand people are in different situations. So there's a lot of black people who may be there, who maybe don't want to play for him, but are going to stick around. There are some black people who agree with him, and they're going to be there for that reason. But I'll tell you this, as for me and mine, there would be no way they would want to stay and play for someone who shared those type of opinions, because that screams nothing but overt racism. Period.
Don't want no enemies or ops. Envy in they heart, I tell them stop. Vacation on the yacht.